Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Polina and Channel met with Kayla at her hospital office to discuss Polina's blood work results. According to Kayla, Polina's body was preventing her thyroid gland from functioning as effectively as it ought to. Polina questioned why a biopsy was necessary. Polina might have malignant thyroid cells, according to Kayla. Channel begged Polina to do what Kayla said and submit to the tests she insisted on. She agreed, and Polina gave in. Kayla consented to arrange for a biopsy. Polina complained that she was too busy to get sick. Johnny met Polina and Channel in the foyer near the nurse's station a little while later. Johnny was informed by Channel and Polina about Polina's biopsy. When Johnny was younger, he told Polina that he had retinoblastoma in his eye. Polina was taken aback to discover that Johnny wore an artificial eye. Johnny went on to say that his life had been saved by the early discovery of his disease. Johnny and Channel were having coffee when Polina left for her biopsy. Observing that it was New Year's Eve, Johnny inquired about Channel's plans for the night. It would be best, Channel replied, to arrange Johnny and her evening around Polina. Since that she and Johnny hadn't seen the film on Christmas Eve, Channel consented to watch It's a Wonderful Life. Thanking Johnny for being in the hospital with her, Channel said. Johnny affirmed that Polina was a fighter and would be all right, saying there was nowhere else he would rather be. Channel worriedly stated, "Yeah, she better be because I cannot imagine my life without her." Johnny encircled Channel with his arms, and they shared a hug. Moments later, Kayla was back in her office and said that she had rushed Polina's biopsy results. The pathology report shows similarities to cancer cells, but we're not really sure yet. To be certain of what we're dealing with, more testing will be required, Kayla disclosed. Polina appeared nervous, but she promised to handle the news, whatever it might be. As Channel attempted to comfort Polina, Kayla held Polina's hand. Nicole met Marlena for her first therapy session in Marlena's hospital office after learning that her baby had passed away. Nicole claimed that the desire to nurse her child was the most difficult aspect of losing her child. Nicole continued by saying that she had thought about getting an abortion since she was afraid she might give birth to a stillborn child. Nicole explained that she had given it some more thinking because she had suspected Eric was the father. Marlena expressed her confusion by shaking her head. Nicole made it clear that, considering everything Eric had been through, she hadn't meant to deny him the opportunity to become a father. Marlena speculated that Nicole had not had an abortion for various reasons. Nicole acknowledged her affection for EJ, but Eric, "Oh, I still have feelings for him. I also miss him." Nicole started to cry and said, "And if I'm being honest with you and myself, in my heart, I wanted that baby I lost to be Eric's." Marlena inquired about Nicole's reaction upon discovering the baby wasn't Eric's. If Nicole had known that Eric was the baby's father, Marlena questioned if she would have moved on from EJ. Nicole stated that she wasn't sure, and that because of the changes, she was unable to respond to the question. Nicole babbled on about how she had given birth on the side of the road a few weeks prior. Nicole started crying. "And my baby would still be alive if it weren't for that vehicle accident. My little boy and EJ's would be alive." Nicole sobbed hysterically. Nicole said she was sorry for her outburst and went on. Nicole claimed that throughout her pregnancy and after the death of her child, EJ had shown her compassion. Nicole said that she had snatched the infant in Horton Town Square, but Eric had forgiven her. Marlena inquired as to Nicole's self-forgiveness. Nicole stated that she had. Marlena inquired as to what Nicole witnessed on her own next. Nicole reasoned that she had a great daughter in Holly and a caring husband in EJ. Nicole added, sobbing, that she wanted to give Holly some stability and concentrate on her. Marlena expressed her hope that Nicole had benefited from the session. Grinning, Nicole said that it had been beneficial and requested to carry on with Marlena in her therapy. Nicole would always have time in Marlena's schedule, she claimed. Nicole expressed her feelings of optimism and hope for the coming year and her recuperation. When Eric and Sloane ran into Leo at Hortontown Square, he reminded Sloane that he was blackmailing her by using innuendo in his speech. Sloane requested that Eric give her and Leo some alone time. Eric moved aside, and Sloane saw that Leo was dressed in a brand new suit that he had admittedly had delivered from Fifth Avenue in New York. Sloane surmised that Leo had bought the suit with her credit card. Leo hinted that he would keep blackmailing Sloane until she came clean to Nicole about the baby. Sloane responded that she was not fluent enough to meet Leo's requests and that he would send her a list of demands. "I apologize, Toots. There you have it," Leo remarked smugly and turned to go. Eric then came back, bringing Sloane some granola bars, and informed her that her credit card had been denied. At that moment, Leo came back from Saxon's carrying numerous heavy suitcases. Leo boasted that he was feeling quite happy and that he had spent hundreds of dollars on high-end brand stuff. After a short while, Eric declared that he had never felt happier than he did with Sloane, who confirmed that she shared his feelings. As Sloane affirmed that nothing would ever separate her and Eric, they remained hand in hand. Leo saw Johnny nearby. Leo proceeded to flirt with Johnny on New Year's Eve. But Johnny wasn't feeling it. Disbelieving, Johnny pointed out that he wasn't gay or bisexual. Johnny mocked Leo for not signing up for a dating service. "I'm taken. But this one might be excellent for you." Before he left, Johnny wished Leo a happy new year. A man wearing a black leather coat approached Konstantin, unseen in the park, and slipped a syringe into his neck. As he was being led away, Konstantin yelled and questioned what was happening to him. A few moments later, Konstantin emerged from a dark basement, bound to a chair and wearing a black hood over his face. Upon removing the hood, it became evident that Steve had kidnapped Konstantin while John was seated in a nearby hunched position. Konstantin inquired about Steve's desires. Steve remembered telling Konstantin to get out of Salem some weeks prior, and he also mentioned that he had cautioned Konstantin to avoid Maggie. Konstantin questioned why Steve was bothering him and questioned his own past interactions with Steve. Steve gave Konstantin the command to leave Salem once more. When Steve declined, Konstantin spit out that he could go to hell. John suddenly grabbed Konstantin by the jacket collar. Before John and Steve led Konstantin back to a park bench, the two exchanged a passionate stare with each other. Steve and John gave Konstantin a week to make his permanent exit from Salem. After taking off his hood, Konstantin looked around anxiously. Konstantin had a flashback to seeing John in person. Those eyes are ones I recognize. Is he the one really? About John? Konstantin said. Steve expressed his hope that he and John had managed to reach Konstantin back down in the basement. Konstantin, according to John, was lower than scum. Steve concurred. John agreed as Steve continued. "If we didn't get through to him, we got no choice but to take this to the next level." Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.